this is the wide, this is the head that's on the 5000. It is not interchangeable with the 4000. And remember guys, the 2000, the head doesn't move at all. So if you're an experienced glass cutter, someone that is very proficient at what you do, any of these cutters will work. And what I tell people about glass cutters is when you put it in your hand and you cut a couple pieces of glass, if your hand is fatigued from doing that, you're using the wrong glass cutter, guys. You're definitely using the wrong glass cutter. This is a 2000, this is a 4000, and this is what the 5000 head looks like. None of these heads are interchangeable with each other. This right here, this cutter is the one that comes with your afterburner handle. This is the cutter that comes with it. And you know, when we talk about, this is a great way to show you, when we talk about depressing the head is enough pressure to score your glass, that's it right there. And remember, so the angle, the steep angles to the back on your glass cutter, whether you're using a Silberschnitt or you're using a Fletcher or any other kind of glass cutter, just remember, look at that, where that angle is, and you'll see where you need to be. But this is the afterburner handle right here, ToolBox. This is a Thomas grip. This is for if you have a really small hand. This is a beautiful glass cutter because it also comes with a TC9 head, which is a 140-degree angle, and it is oil fed. You can see that. It's oil fed, and it only takes a drop. So this is your Thomas grip glass cutter, and then you have your 2000, your pistol grip, which is a good glass cutter. Again, this is a nice glass cutter. So most of the pistol grips you're going to see it doesn't have a Toyo cutter head on it, and most of your pistol grips made now are not Toyos, but you can purchase them. But you'll see if it says Toyo on the cutter head, just like if it says Silberschnitt on the cutter head, then it is a Toyo and it is a Silberschnitt cutter head. But if it's just a plain Jane cutter head, it's just a off-brand glass cutter head. But they all work, and there's nothing wrong with them. You just have to take care of them. This is a Ouroboros glass. It is red and green, well, actually purple and green and amber. And this is a really pretty glass. You can see this is the front, and then of course this is the back side. And it's modeled. It's absolutely just really, it excites me when I look at these glasses because they're so unique in their own individual ways. And these glasses, we all know that Ouroboros is really a beautiful glass for making, doing reproduction, doing lamp work. And they're the go-to people if you're repairing or restoring a lamp, and they're the ones that are probably going to have as close of a match as what you need. But so I've got out my my Silberschnitt running pliers, okay? And you know what? I shared this, and I didn't bring the paper home, but I shared it with the class this weekend. So someone sent me a photograph of, these are the Silberschnitts that we had, and got these from Bowl out of Charlotte. And the new ones, the handle is about that much longer, and it's more curved. And this right here is not recessed, it's different. That nut that holds the two pair of pliers together is not recessed on one side. It's kind of different. So the pliers look a little bit different. It's like they changed the die a little bit on it, and which I guess there's really nothing wrong with it, because when you're using these pliers, guys, you don't want to hold and try and run with holding your hand right there. You want to bring your hand back here. And one thing that I saw this weekend, that it's really difficult to start a run slightly. You have to just be very, very gentle with it. And so we're going to cut a small pattern out of this glass, and we're gonna try and run it back the other way. So you can hear this. If I go over top of this really fast, we're probably going to have lots of skips, so I'm going to take my time, and you can hear the so when you go into those little potholes there, don't pick your glass cutter up, don't stop, just keep moving right along. Now let's see if we can just start this run without breaking it all the way through. There's not a problem breaking it all the way through, but if you'll learn to, just like that, if you'll learn to start that run like that, instead of trying to take that curve out with the running pliers and breaking your glass, if you'll learn to just start that run, and we heard it pop, and then you come in and drop in just behind the run, and like my shirt says, we will chase that run. My run is right here. I'm just barely holding on to the glass. I'm going to pull down, and I have my index finger underneath of it, this piece of glass, is close, right against the pliers, and I'm pulling down. And you see that? That ran to right there. And now I'm going to go in a little bit further, and I'm just going to pull down and away, just like that. But I started my run, and let's do that one more time, guys. I started my run really slow, and here we go. Just listen for the little pop. Ready? There we go. We just got that little pop, and now that run is right there. So if I want to come back down here, I can, and I can start this from this end, maybe not. There it is. So you can start it from one end, start it from the other. And remember, when you have this much texture, and the other side's even worse, when you're scoring your glass, just remember, guys, don't press down really hard, because you don't need to. Just depress your head and start that run ever so slightly. Drop in behind it with your grousers and pull down and away. This glass fooled me, because I was thinking that it was going to be pretty ugly. But let's see, this is the problem that we had in class the other day. Everyone was trying to do too steep of a curve, because your running pliers won't do that, guys, okay? They won't do that curve, but what they will do is this. They will allow you to come in and start that run. Listen. It's going to make a liar out of me. There it goes. Okay, so we just got that started. And I'm not sure that you can see. Yeah, you can see that. That run is right there. And now I'm going to drop in behind it, and I'm going to pull down on this a little bit. And we get a little bit more, and we're going to move right around. And then let's come back here and get this started. There we go. Your running pliers won't do this. So if I take this screw and I screw it in like that, okay, my glass pliers will not close any further than that right there. Mm-hmm. I don't ever adjust this screw. I use the screw to remind me that that's the top of the pliers. I prefer not to use the screw on the Leponitt, and because more than anything, I think sometimes it'll just mess you up, because you'll have it screwed in too far, and you'll be trying to figure out why in the world your glass isn't running. So if you take that screw and take it out so that the jaws are closed, then that's really where you need to be, right there, just like that. me see if I can. And I don't believe, yeah, this is not going to be thick enough there. There we go. So I closed that jaw all the way, and the pliers are closed completely, and I was able to pinch that right off like that. If you do want to use that screw, I would suggest that you just leave the screw adjusted, unless you're cutting really thick glass. Leave the screw adjusted so that your pliers touch each other when they're closed. That's what I would do. Right here, this is a Wismac glass. It's really pretty, and actually it's an exceptional glass to cut, and it's an exceptional glass for sky, water, and anything in between that you want to use it for. But what we need to do is we're going to cut this out, and we're going to remember, as we're scoring this glass, we're going to remember that we need to be right up against that black line. So when we come off of this, we're going to come off just like that, right down into there. And then we're going to come over here, and we're going to stay right up against that black line. Because remember, we just traced our pattern out to this piece of glass, okay? So let's reach over here, and let's see if we can start this run right here. Let's see if we hear that little pop, okay? Hold on. Here we go. Just like that. And there's our pop, there's our run right there. So now now remember, that didn't go around there because there's not enough handle to make that run like that. So we're going to just drop in behind this where it is, put our knuckle here, and we're going to drop in and just keep pulling down ever so slightly. And we'll start back here. Just like that. So by grabbing this without my pliers, okay, when I grabbed a hold of this I pulled down and away, and what I did is I created pressure right here, and that pressure ran right to its weakest point, which was straight ahead because of the pressure that I had by pulling down. So if you get those problems, that's exactly what's going on. You're pulling down and you're pulling, and it's going to leave you, you're going to have to just break it, and it's going to leave you these little ears right here. These little ears disappear when you pull down like that, and then you take your plier and you hold it right there and you go like that, just like that. So your grousing pliers, that's how they work, just like that, guys. Your grousing pliers or your grousing pliers, they work just like that. They work on that bottom jaw so that they're doing the work that you need them to do. You don't need to pull down on them, because when you pull down on them, they're not actually grousing. So we started our run here. We're going to pull down. Now this is probably going to go around that way, but let's see. We're going to chase that run, and maybe it won't because I'm right behind it. There we go. So again, what I was doing is I'm pulling down this way. I'm chasing the run around that curve right there, just like that. And what did that give me? That gave me that point.